Dokie. All right, welcome back to the Success Framework. We are now going to go into strategies and tactics. You've spent a bunch of time focusing on your direction, what you do in the business, your architecture, your business structure, your business strategy work around Business Model Canvas, all that sort of good stuff. We just completed a whole big section on goals. Now that you have your why, your what, we can focus in on your how. And so the goals are how you're going to get there. Once you've got goals, you can break down your strategies and tactics to achieve them. And that's what the focus of this section of the Success Framework is. We are going to spend some time looking at how you identify strategies, how you decompose those strategies and turn them into tactics to basically execute the attainment of your goals. There are some key inputs into this section, as you can imagine. And so you have to look at your business and everything that you've developed as a whole now. Specifically, what you need to do is you reflect on your values, purpose, vision, your legacy, so your direction. Review your brand promise, guarantee, and secret, your business model canvas, and your goals. You want to review them all. You want to make sure you're clear on all your activities, everything that your business is about. And when you consider your business as a whole, you can then start identifying strategies and tactics and align them to your goals. Now, for this part of the program, there's a bunch of things in your guide. So you've got the worksheets. Here's where we look at your 1-year goal, your 10-year goal, 3-year goal, 12-month goal, essential course of action, where effort should be channeled, best approach to achieving it, strategic themes. So we'll fill that out. Then we'll look at the actual strategies that you're going to create, decompose them into tactics. So you've got your workbook to go along with what we're discussing now. All right. We've set that context. So we're going to start by focusing on your 12-month goals. You don't want to be putting your attention necessarily into the 10, 3-year stuff. This is about the short term. It's about the strategies and tactics that you're going to use now to achieve your overall vision. And so really what I want you to do is consider what will you have achieved as an individual or business in the next 12 months? What must happen in your business to get your 3 to 5 year and 10-year goals? And what's the practical activities that you will have completed? What are the measures that will let you know you're on track? So this should be familiar from the goals stuff. And as you keep that front of mind, we can then zero in on your strategies. So with your 12-month in mind, strategies represent the essential course of action you plan to take to achieve a goal. So it's the single theme type, or obviously strategy, that you're going to follow. They're what you'll use to channel your effort, your attention, and will put you in a place to succeed. Your strategies are accepted approaches to achieving your goals. So I'll use marketing as an easy example. Marketing, I wouldn't call that a strategy. I'd call that a business function, which we'll cover in the operating model. But online marketing might be the strategy, or social media marketing might be the strategy. Then when we look at the tactics side of it, we would decompose what are the different accepted approaches to achieving the goal of online marketing. So the strategy, online marketing, tactics are the things you do to achieve that. So what I'd like you to do now is pause the video, spend 4 to 12 minutes reviewing the content you've produced so far, focusing your attention on the 12-month goals, and start thinking about what are the strategies that represent the essential course of action to achieve your goal. What strategies will you employ? What have you employed in the past? What has worked? What new strategies could you employ? So pause the video, spend your 4 to 12 minutes, start journaling out some ideas, and when you come back, we'll have a conversation about objectives. Okay. So if a 12-month goal is your goal, your quarterly objectives are the activities you're doing in the short term, your quarterly goals that you will have written. And so what I want you to consider again, like we did with your goal setting, is what will have you done to attain your 12-month goals? Who will you have to see? What businesses will you have to engage with? What activities will you have to complete to enable success? What are the constant activities you need to do to make it all happen? These are going to be key things that you're doing consistently. And these will answer, what are your tactics? And so tactics are strategies broken down into smaller parts. They're a course of action that you will take to implement the strategy. Tactics align to the results in achieving your objective, quarterly goals. So, for example, if my strategy is social media marketing, one of my tactics would be to create social media accounts, to write content that supports developing awareness of the brand, to film content that supports awareness of the brand. And so I've got a strategy, which is social media marketing, and then the tactics that I'm going to execute. So what I'd like you to do now is pause the video for 4 to 12 minutes, pick one core strategy that you want to zero your attention in on, and you're going to practice decomposing that strategy into your tactics. And what you're focusing in on is, one, the strategy, and then what are the essential courses of action you're going to take to realize that strategy. So pause the video, take 4 to 12 minutes, do some journaling. When you come back, we will progress. Okay. So I'm hoping that you've done some journaling. That reflection will allow you to be really effective with these next couple of activities. And really, it's the use of your tool. So you will have done some thinking, some journaling, and now we're going to do the decomposition deep dive. And you're going to pick one strategy, maybe two, and you're going to decompose that strategy into your core tactics. So first things first, what I'd like you to do is review the journaling notes that you've just taken. Have a look at all the different strategies that you've identified. And I want you to ask the question, which one of these strategies will generate the most momentum towards achieving my goals, the most momentum in pushing me forward in the direction I want to go, and the most momentum in the context of realizing my legacy. And so pause for 3 to 7 minutes and identify which are your top 2 most important strategies. One other measure you want to consider is which is going to result in the most immediate revenue. If we're talking tactical, you definitely want to be putting some attention onto revenue. So pause the video, review your strategies, come back with your top 2 strategies front of mind. Okay, so of all the different strategies you've identified, you should now have 2 that are front of mind. And what I'm going to get you to do is you're going to look at that strategy and you're going to make sure it's clearly articulated. So I've given you like a heading of a strategy, social media marketing. What I want you to do is elaborate on the detail of the strategy. So for example, social media marketing defined as using Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok Reels to drive attention and share insight about the company's culture with potential candidates. So I'm elaborating on the strategy. So what I want you to do is pause for 3 to 7 minutes and elaborate and define the key strategies you've identified. Pause the video, come back. Now that you've elaborated on the strategy, the next piece of the activity is you're going to go and identify the tactics that underpin each. So if I've said social media marketing as per my definition, what are the key tactics that I'm going to employ to be successful? So one of those tactics might be film once, reuse 3 times. The tactic might be to use something like, what am I using? I've used Teams, I've used Zoom, I've used Otter AI. Use a tool to record the content that also produces the transcript. So that way you have a transcript that you can reuse and, excuse me. You have a transcript that you can reuse over and over again to develop content, to write out other blogs, all that sort of good stuff. The other tactic might be to film some long form content and either yourself or use some AI tools to break that into micro content. So you can see how we've gone from a strategy of social media marketing and then decomposed it into all these different tactics we can employ. So pause the video now, spend 3 to 7 minutes, break your 2 key strategies into their tactics that allow you to achieve the goal you want. Pause now, come back. Okie dokie. So what you should have is you should have your strategic headings and all the different tactics that underpin those 2 strategies. This is going to lay the foundation for the activities section of your business model canvas. And for the next 3 months, these are the tactics you're employing to focus attention on achieving the goals that you've set. The quarterly objectives that you're working on connected to your 12-month, connected to your 3, 10, legacy. Okie doke, that's it. Strategies and tactics. Pretty straightforward, just a decomposition of the work you've done into some practical work that you do daily, weekly, monthly. What we're going to do now is we're going to finish this section of the success framework and we are going to jump into habits. Habits is what we are going to cover next. So I look forward to catching up with you in the next video and having a chat about what's the thing, the 1 or 2 things that if you did consistently, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, would result in your entire strategy being realized. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okie dokie. All right, rock and roll. See you soon.